The moment you decide to be emotionally transparent is the moment you become predictable. People misunderstand this. They think honesty is power. They think exposure creates connection. It does not. It creates a map. And once someone has your map, they no longer need to guess where to apply pressure. Most people don't struggle because they feel too little. They struggle because they reveal too much. They narrate their fears in real time. They confess their insecurities before anyone has earned access to them. They mistake vulnerability for strategy. And then they wonder why they are handled so easily. You announce what hurts you. You explain what excites you. You clarify what you hope for. In doing so, you remove uncertainty. And uncertainty is the only shield you naturally possess. Machiavelli understood something people still avoid. Men do not respond to your sincerity. They respond to their advantage. When you display your emotional state openly, you hand them data. Data becomes leverage. Leverage becomes control. When you react impulsively, you reveal priorities. When you reveal priorities, you expose dependencies. When you expose dependencies, you create targets. Emotional behavior signals weakness. Detachment interrupts that signal. Clarity begins the moment reaction ends. If someone criticizes you and you immediately defend yourself, they learn what you protect. If someone withdraws and you chase, they learn what you fear losing. If someone praises you and you light up, they learn how to guide you. Each emotional spike is a disclosure. Each disclosure narrows your range of movement. Detach. Observe your impulse before acting on it. In that pause, information accumulates. You see patterns instead of insults, motives instead of words, pressure points instead of drama. Clarity forms when emotion is delayed, and clarity is usable. Clarity gives you leverage. You begin to respond instead of react. You choose silence where others expect explanation. You maintain composure where others expect defense. You withhold immediate validation where others expect approval. That subtle resistance shifts the balance. Leverage becomes control, not because you dominate, but because you cannot be easily steered. When your emotional state is not publicly accessible, others are forced to calculate. They hesitate. They test. They reveal themselves in the process. Your restraint extracts information. This is where tension rises. People will notice. They will say you have changed. They will accuse you of being distant, of being cold. What they mean is simple. You are no longer predictable. Predictability benefits them. If they know you crave reassurance, they can ration it. If they know you fear conflict, they can threaten it. If they know you seek approval, they can withhold it. Your transparency once made interaction effortless for them. Your restraint complicates it. When you stop explaining your feelings, they lose access to your internal script. When you stop reacting on cue, they lose timing. When you stop announcing what you value most, they lose precision. That loss makes them uneasy, not because you harmed them, says, because you removed their leverage. Emotional transparency feels virtuous because it promises fairness. If you are open, others will be open. If you are honest, others will be honest. This is projection. Fairness is not a default setting. Approval is not a currency that circulates equally. Belonging is often conditional. You are taught that emotional visibility creates trust. In reality, strategic opacity creates respect. When every feeling is displayed, nothing needs to be inferred. When nothing needs to be inferred, no one needs to invest attention. Mystery forces effort. Effort increases perceived value. Reputation is not built on how much you reveal. It is built on how consistently you control yourself. Emotional transparency feels authentic, but authenticity without discipline is exposure. And exposure without discretion invites intrusion. You do not need to become silent. You need to become selective. You do not need to suppress emotion, you need to regulate its timing. There is a difference between feeling deeply and broadcasting immediately. The first builds depth, the second builds dependency. Dependency is the real danger. The more others can predict your emotional rhythm, the more they can design around it. They can provoke you, pacify you, distract you, anchor you. Your moods become buttons, and once someone identifies a button, they will press it. Detachment is not indifference. It is containment. You feel everything. You reveal little. You respond deliberately. That pattern creates ambiguity. Ambiguity restores power. As you practice this, you will notice something unsettling. Conversations slow down. People probe more carefully. Some withdraw. Others attempt stronger emotional cues to draw you out. Stay measured. Each attempt is information. Each escalation confirms the previous imbalance. Over time, your presence changes. Not louder, not harsher, simply harder to read, harder to predict, harder to manipulate. You're no longer driven by the immediate relief of expression. You're guided by outcome. Once that shift happens, you stop negotiating emotionally. You stop rewarding behavior that seeks to manage you. You begin moving with intention instead of impulse. And when your inner state is no longer publicly accessible, the field changes. You're not reacting to the game, you are observing it. That is the moment everything changes.
Thanks for spending time in this. If this sparked a new way of thinking, hit like and subscribe to keep the ideas flowing. And don't forget, check the description for the links to the resources and the original books we used today. We'll see you in the next one.